Hi, good day. Today I'm going to speak to you about installing and configuring Windows Deployment Services, better known as WDS. So what exactly is WDS? WDS is just a server technology produced by Microsoft for network-based installation of OS. And this WDS has replaced the remote installation services in the earlier versions of server software. Now I'll show you how to configure WDS. First of all, we need to go to Server Manager and click on Start. Go to Server Manager. Select Roles. And WDS, in order for WDS to work, WDS must have DHCP server installed on the server that has WDS. Other services it may need is DNS services and Active Directory domain services. But on the PC that you're installing WDS, you must make sure it has DHCP installed. So as you can see, DHCP is already installed, DNS server and Active Directory domain services. So we're going to add another role, which is the Windows Deployment Services. So we click on Add Role. Click Next. So we select Windows Deployment Services. Click Next. Click Next. And make sure these two are selected. Deployment Server and Transport Server. Click Next. Click Install. So the installation is complete. We click Close. Close off Server Manager. Now we go to Start, Administrative Tools, Windows Deployment Services. Right, so now we are going to configure server. So we click on, right click on Configure Server. Right, so as you can see, to successfully install and use Windows Deployment Services, you will need a computer to be a member of the domain Active Directory domain services, an active DHCP server on your network, an active DNS server on a network, and an NTFS partition on a Windows deployment server for storing images. So we click Next. Right, so I'll install images on the C drive, but it is advisable to create a separate partition and have the images be stored there. So click Next. So you click Yes to continue. Right. So we check these two boxes. Select Next. At this point, I'm going to select Respond to all known and unknown client computers. So it will be a lot easier to do the demonstration. Right? Click Next or click Finished. And Windows deployment is now being configured. Right, so I'll click Finish here and add the images later. At this point, if you click Add Images, whatever images is on it that it detects or is on the drive, it will install all the images, whether it be professional, enterprise, data center. It'll install all the images automatically. Click finished. Click cancel. Select yes. Right, so the server has been configured. Just to add the images now. So now I'm going to install Windows 7 boot and install images. The boot image is the files that are necessary to start up the installation process, and then the installation image would start. Right, so I'll install the installation image first. Right click, add install image, select a new group, say Win 7 32-bit. Select next. Browse for the file location. So you go to computer, go to and you go to sources folder. Select install.wim or is a WIM file or install.wim. Select, click open, click next, click next, click next. Right, so as you can see, the install image was successfully added to the server. So we click finished. We add the boot image now. So you right click, add boot image, browse, go to sources, boot image, click open, select next, select Windows 7, click next, click next. Right, so the boot image was successfully added. Click finish. And now we'll add one for say Windows Vista. Add install image. So I'll create a new group. Vista 32-bit. Select next. Browse the file location. So we'll install, do the installation image first, or the install image. Click open. Click next. 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 Alright, so Vista image was install image was successfully completed. So click finish. Now add the boot image for Windows Vista. So you right click, add boot image, browse, go to computer, sources, boot.wim, click open, select next, boot, select next, next, The image was completed successfully. Click finished. And now we'll set up a multicast transmission. So we click on we right click, create multicast transmission. Type in a name for it. Windows deployment. Vista and Win 7. So click next, select next. Autocast means that as the clients boot up and the configuration is completed, it automatically starts the install image. And schedule cast, here as you can see, you can set a threshold. So when it reaches a certain amount, then it sends out the images to all the machines that need the installation. Or you can set all the installation to start at a certain date and time. But for this demonstration, I'll use autocast. Select next, click finish. Alright, so now we'll set up the container to hold the image on Oracle VirtualBox Manager. Click on New. So we name this WDS Win 7. Click next, 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 create, next, next, create, and we'll create one for Vista also. Select new, select WDS Vista. We click select next, 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 or create, sorry, next, next, create. Right, so two virtual machines have been created. That is the environment. Now we have to go and boot up those machines to the network or the PXE, and then Windows deployment they'll install, set up the boot image, and then the install will go on. Remember, when you install the image, you have to select, go to settings, and on a network select host only adapter and select enable all. Do this for all installations, both Windows 7 and Vista. Click OK. I'll do the Vista. Alright, so now we'll start up the VM. Remember, you have to be very fast. Press F12 to get into the boot menu. Right, so we get into the menu by pressing boot F12. Press L for LAN to boot from the LAN. Press F12 again. Right, so before we had two images that we had set up. That was Windows Vista and Windows 7. So we'll install Windows 7 on this machine. Okay. So you select Windows 7 setup, press enter. Windows 7 will load. I'll do the same. I'll do the same for Windows Vista. So go back to the manager, VirtualBox Manager, Windows Vista. So I click cancel here because I do not want to select the drive. I want to select the image on the network. So click cancel, press F12. Right, so it's like L to boot from the LAN and F12 to start from the network to start the installation. So I have booted the Windows Vista machine. Select Windows Vista Longhorn boot image setup, sorry. So Windows 7 boot setup has completed. Now it's installation setup started. So select next. I will prompt for a username and password for the server. The domain, which is himraj.com, and password. Right, so we choose which installation. That's supposed to be Windows 7. This is Windows 7. Select next. Right, so it's same as setting up an OS. You set up, create the drive, click apply, click OK. Click format, click OK, and well, the same process will be done on a Windows Vista machine, so I will not show you the same process twice. I'll just wait on this Windows 7 machine. Click next. So yeah, it's waiting on the server. So installation has started immediately. That's the difference between autocast, means that it does not wait on any special criteria, and schedule multicast means that it has a certain criteria that must be met, whereas the amount of machine threshold or date and time, once those criteria are met, then the installation will start. So I guess I'll do the installation on the Windows 7, and it will be same installation for Windows Vista, so I will not be showing you the Vista installation. So the installation has been completed and the PC has restarted. Alright, so just finishing up the setup here, click next. Username is Win7. No password. I accept. Click next. Use recommended settings. Here we use Caracas, La Paz. Select next. Right, so Windows 7 has installed, and I thank you for viewing and looking forward to making more interesting videos for you. Thank you.